Long gone are the days where you can just get a tune from your email and make your cars way faster in like 3 simple steps. These days, unfortunately, most cars, especially BMWs, come with locked ECUs, so you can't just plug in and tune your car with a flash tune. And by the way, I am counting the Supra on that because it does have the B58. So whether you guys have an M340, you have a Supra, or you have a GT M3, it is a whole process to get your car tuned. I'm sure you guys have heard of like femto unlock, where you have to take out the ECU, you have to send it to another country, they unlock it, and then you can tune it. That process is like thousands and thousands of dollars. But other than just flash tuning, you can do a piggyback tune. Now, piggyback tunes are not new by any means, but they're a little more important these days because it's one of the few ways you can still tune your cars. Again, the Supra and also my G80 M3 are both in the same situation where they have locked ECUs, because both these cars are, well, newer. The G80 M3 is a 2023, the Supra is a 2021. Now, if you guys are wondering what's the cutoff, well, if your car is 2020 or earlier, you're probably fine. You can easily just unlock your ECU, probably via a bench unlock with like a local shop, or maybe you don't even have to unlock it at all and you can just tune your car. Unfortunately, anything past 2020, so 2021 and up, that's not the case. You have a locked ECU and you can't just flash tune your car, so you have to go for a piggyback tune. Now, I do want to show you guys something, because if you have a 2021, again, the Supra's a 2021, there's still a possibility that you can tune your car, and that's because it's not really based on the year of the car. It's based on the year of the ECU. Now, this is gonna be a pretty simple process, guys. It might seem intimidating, but I promise it's pretty easy. So what you're gonna wanna do is look for your ECU, or as BMWs call it, the DME, and that's gonna be right underneath here. So this is just a plastic cover. You can easily just lift this away because it's only held on by some grommets. Now, this is your ECU. So what we wanna do is check the production date on these ECUs. If it's before June of 2020, you're good. If it's after that, you're not so good. So on these DMEs, they have 2 clips. You guys can see it right here. Hopefully you can see it. You wanna pull this back. See that? You wanna do that on this side as well as the other side. So you'll definitely need 2 hands for this. So I'm gonna put you guys down real quick. You basically wanna just lift this DME away, so that way you can see the production date on the other side of it. Now, you don't want to disconnect all this, because although it's not hard to, it's just, you know, some extra steps and a little more of a pain. But what you want to do is be able to lift it up just enough. See that label right there? Well, it's going to be hard to see. What I suggest doing is grab your phone, take a clear picture of it, and try to read it. So like I said, if it has a production date of June 2020 or sooner, you are good. But if it was after that, unfortunately, your DME is locked. You can't easily flash in your car. You still can if you do a femto unlock, but you still can do a piggyback tune, which is what we're gonna be doing to the Supra today. So shout out to Daler and Keys Motorsports. I had this piggyback tune, I actually used it on my X5 if you guys watch my channel, but since the X5 has a B58, and so does the Supra, so I figured we'd try it out on the Supra. Now, I'm just gonna be honest with you guys, I'm actually gonna do a femto unlock on the Supra very soon, actually. So before I do that, I figured I'd try out the piggyback tune, because now I'll know what the Supra feels like stock with a piggyback tune and with a full unlock and proper flash tune. Anyways, we're gonna get to installing this thing. It should be pretty easy and pretty simple. It's just pretty much plug and play. There's only really 1 or maybe 2 tools that you need to install this thing. That's obviously one of the nice things about these tunes, other than the fact that you can do it on a locked ECU, but 2, they're just a lot less intimidating than doing like a full flash tune on your car. Whereas these, they're just plug and play. And honestly, guys, anybody could do this. So inside the box, you're gonna get a few things. This right over here is the tuner itself. So this is the main module. This is what it looks like. Nothing crazy, nothing special, but this will make the car a lot faster. Now, if you guys are wondering exactly how much faster it's gonna make it, well, on the B58, you should get about like another 50 wheel horsepower or so, and I believe like 75 pound-feet of torque, which is a pretty respectable number, and I believe you don't need any bolt-ons. So you can do this on a completely stock car and still get those power gains. So other than the module itself, you're gonna have a override piece. So where the module plugs into the harness, which we'll get into in a second, you can replace it with this. And what this is gonna do is basically kind of negate everything that it did. So if you wanna basically take off the tune without taking off the entire wiring harness, because that is a bit of a process, you could just unplug that and plug this in. Anyways, like I was saying, this is the wiring harness. So this right over here is where it mainly connects to into, again, the tuner or the override thing. So that's for that. And then you're gonna have a couple other connections. So this is gonna go into 4 spots really, and it's gonna create bridge connections. It's like your boost sensors and a whole bunch of other stuff. I'm not gonna explain like the details of it because I'm not a tuner, I'm not an engineer. I don't wanna do this thing any injustices. So you're gonna have 3 connections you wanna do a bridge gap into, and then you're also gonna have, if I can take everything out over here, you're also gonna have your power. So the nice thing about this compared to some other piggyback tuners, I mean, listen guys, there's a lot of great piggyback tuners out there. So whatever route you decide to go, I think you'll be happy with. But one of the upsides of Daler is, well, there's a few, but one of them is you don't have to go through the firewall from your engine bay into your cabin and plug this into your OBD connection. And that's because it's gonna have its own power and ground. So it's gonna be kind of like self-sufficient, and your OBD connection is gonna be left open, whereas other tuners, they will use that up while you're using it. Also, you can control this tuner via an app. So like I was saying, you can plug this in if you don't want to deal with the app, but if you want to, you can connect via like Bluetooth or something to an app, and that way you can just control this via your phone. So you can put it into like race mode, into eco, and you can kind of change the mapping of the tune, which is pretty cool. So it's cool because you can kind of plug it in and then just set it up and you'll be good. Control it from your phone, or if you want, you can, you know, put the override thing if you don't want to deal with a phone or something like that. Personally, I would do the phone. Now, I'll be honest with you guys, in this video, I'm not gonna go too crazy. Even when I install this, I'm not gonna make it look super neat and put together because, again, I'm gonna do a femto unlock eventually. I'll make full YouTube videos about that. I'll even compare the piggyback tune to the femto unlock. So I don't care for this to be perfect. I just really want to try this out, show you guys how to install it, and then give you my first impressions about it. But honestly, at the end of this video, I'm gonna take it off and get ready for the femto unlock, which is actually starting tomorrow. Now in the box, they have some really good installation instructions. They'll show you exactly where these sensors are and where you need to connect it. No joke guys, less than 10 minutes later, we have everything installed. Now again, this is super sloppy. Do not do it like this. I'm literally gonna uninstall this after this video. This is just to test it out and to show you guys. So in the meantime, this should work. Now I'm gonna refer to the installation just so I don't get anything wrong here. But in the back here, we have the intake manifold pressure sensor. I believe that's what it's called. We have the boost sensor right over here. And then we also have the crankshaft sensor. So those are only 3 connections you have to tap into. To make this job a little easier, guys, I would highly recommend having a pick tool, just a simple one, so that way you can help yourself remove those clips, especially if you're doing it in the cold like I am. Take your time with those clips and just don't break anything, because that would be the worst thing. And then what you have to do after that is connect the power to the car's power and ground. So make sure you use the car's power and ground that you already have. To do that, you do need a T50, which isn't the most common bit that people will have. So if you are gonna do this, you do need that to undo the studs of the power supply. But otherwise, those are the only 2 tools that you will need. This is a super easy job, guys. Again, it's not the first time I'm doing it, so I did it super quick. But trust me, even if you're doing it the first time, just follow the instructions. Make sure you do it in the order that they specify. I don't know if there's a reason, but just follow it just in case. Plug in the sensors, then plug in the unit, then plug in the ground, and then plug in the power. Again, I would do this a lot neater if I was actually gonna leave it on the car, but I'm not. So don't judge me. So before we go off for a drive, guys, let's just quickly turn on the car and make sure we have no funny business. All right, no codes, no errors, and the car seems to be running well. So I think we did it right. We didn't screw something up, which is always good. Anyways, I'm gonna let the car run for a little bit and warm up. I'm gonna set up my cameras, and then in the next scene, I'll tell you guys my impressions on how this feels. Again, they say it should be about 50 wheel horsepower and about like 75 foot-pounds of torque, which is a considerable number, especially in a car like this. But let's just see how it feels. Oh, dude. Yep, you definitely feel that power bump. That's not even in sport mode. Let's put it into sport. Yep, that feels good. I gotta say, guys, honestly, I wouldn't feel like I need any more power than this, not in the Supra. And remember, this works for pretty much any B58. They have different ones for different engines and stuff like that, but you can put this on. I know most of you are probably gonna have like an M340 or a 240 or something like that. These do work on those. But yeah, this is a good amount of power, man. Like if you don't want to go through the whole process of femto unlock and all that, and shipping out your ECU, chancing it with your ECU, it's not even just about the money. It's like you have to literally ship out your ECU. And if something goes wrong in shipping, oh, dude, this is sick. If something goes wrong in shipping, you know, you're kind of screwed. So this is a nice, safe bet. You don't have to worry about it taking up your OBD port. You can control this in the app. Like I've said before, I'm not going to do it because I just want to test this out and see what this feels like. But yeah, like this, you can just plug it in, wire it nicely, do it right, and then just enjoy your car and almost like forget that it's there, and then just control on your app if you want to put the car into eco, if you want to do whatever. Again, I do have that override thing. So if you guys don't want to do the app for whatever reason, you can just plug this in. So personally, if I was going to go on a road trip and I'm like, I don't need the extra power, you know, I don't even want to like chance that, I'd rather the car just be completely stock, I would just plug this in. So instead of taking off that entire wiring harness, because although it's not hard, like once you guys route it properly, it can be cumbersome to take it in and out. So this is a nice way to just kind of temporarily turn off the tune without doing all that. But again, the app is there, so just use the app. I don't know. Dude, this thing feels sick. Like, so this thing has, what is it, 380 to the crank. So now we're probably pushing 450. I'm throwing out numbers here. I don't know the exact figures, but on a small car like this, or even like an M340, man, like, or an M240, like those cars, that's still a lot of power for those cars. Dude, this feels so good. It might just be me. I wish I put the other mic on the license plate, but I didn't know. I might be in my head here, but it sounds louder. Like, I might just be, I don't know. Oh, dude. This is fun, man. It's cutting out power because it can't find traction. So, and I'm not going to turn traction off right now. That's a bad idea. But dude, this feels... All right, we're gonna do a downshift. 45. Dude, it pulls. It's hard to put into words because you guys know the numbers, right? Dale tested this. Keys has tested it. You guys know the numbers, but in terms of the feeling, it's not like a complete night and day difference. It's not. But this to me, like the Super always felt a little slow, not slow, but it felt like it could use a little more. This to me just brought it to the perfect level. Now, if you're wondering why I'm still gonna do femto unlock and you're like, well, that kind of discredits this, I'm doing femto unlock, guys, because, you know, for what I do, it's just more content. Like I can show you guys the difference for everything. And then it just kind of opens me up to different variations. One of the downsides with a piggyback tune, of course, is you can't adjust certain things. Oh, we were lifting off a little bit there. You can't adjust burbles. You can't code out a check engine light because of a downpipe. I know some people ask that. You can't do that type of stuff. You basically plug it in. It manipulates the information that the car is sending to itself. So it's kind of tricky into thinking that it's making less boost than it really is. So it's making more boost. Yeah, so you can't do too much. You get the power and that's it, which to some people is all you probably want. You can just do this on a stock car. Like you don't need a downpipe. I do have a Cata downpipe. You don't need one. But for me and what I do for content and making YouTube videos, making TikTok videos, and all that type of stuff, I do need to go to that next level. So from my perspective, this is plenty power, dude. I do not feel like I need any more. On this car in particular, I need better power, or better tires rather, to handle all this power. Holy. It feels more punchy. It feels, the torque, you get more torque. You definitely feel the torque. Drop down. And it just carries the power. Like I'm at 6,000 RPM and it feels like it still has more. Like it feels like it can still keep on going. This is nice, man. All right, so who is this for? I think this is for anybody who wants more power and you don't want to be troubled. It's, again, you don't have to take out your ECU, you don't have to do all that. Now, is this significantly cheaper? Probably not. It's not like all that much cheaper, but it's just easier. Like it takes 2 seconds to install. You don't have to take it to a shop. You don't have to mess with things. You can easily take it off. And then honestly, a nice thing, guys, is like, if you take this and you put it on, you install it and you enjoy it, and then you're like, oh, I do want more power and I want to go like stage 2, because this is pretty much a stage 1, which is, dude, it feels like a lot to me. I don't know. You can just sell this, you know, sell it, take the money and put it towards, again, sorry, checking cameras here. You can put it towards your femto unlock. You can put it towards your flash tunes and all that. Dude, this thing feels sick. I keep on getting distracted. That's the nice thing about it. It's a physical unit you can take off and sell. You can probably even find them used secondhand if you guys check Facebook Marketplace or something. But if you can't, links down in the description below. So yeah, someone who wants more power, doesn't want to be hassled, isn't going to be the type of person who's going to be racing and all that, because you don't have as much customizability and all that, because with a flash tune, you can get custom tunes, and dude, the burbles sound louder to me. I'm burning so much gas. I know people are gonna ask about warranty. Listen, I feel like all these tuners claim that they're undetectable. I don't know, because I've spoke to BMW techs and they've said that they can just sense, or they can see everything. They can see that the car is making more boost than it was before. So if you're worried about warranty, I don't know. I can't tell you yes or no. If I was worried about warranty, I would not do this personally. Yeah, man, overall, like, you just want to enjoy your car. You don't want to spend like crazy amounts of money. You don't want to like go crazy and troubling yourself. I think this is a great option. So again, if you guys want it, links down in the description below, man. But if you guys want to see the full femto unlock experience and flash tuning a B58, a modern B58, hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned. We'll be doing that soon, very soon. I'm starting the process tomorrow. Don't know when the videos will be out, because it's going to take a little bit. You guys will see this video well in advance for that. But yeah, otherwise, if you guys enjoyed this video, you already know what to do. Drop it a like, hit that thumbs up. But yeah, anyways, catch you guys in the next one. Peace.